I have always supported the science. I recognise that we must take action. The big difference between our approach and Labor's is that what Labor wants to do is unilaterally increase our target without getting buy-in from other countries, unilaterally increase the renewable energy target at an enormous cost which it is not able to quantify, and in circumstances where it will not result in the effective global action the world and future generations need. That's my plan for effective global action. I understand this issue and I want to deal with it. We are dealing with it. The world needs concerted action.
We're up against time constraints. So a brief response from you, and then we'll have a closing statement from the Prime Minister.
It does sound like a scare campaign on climate change again. I feel we're back in 2013. Mr Turnbull's saying it's all unilateral and great cost. There is a cost to not acting on climate change. Now, Labor could have squibbed the argument, but we won't, because we want to make sure that the future generations of Australians don't look back at us and say, why didn't you act?
Final statement from the Prime Minister.
Thank you. The choice on July the 2nd is whether we secure our future, whether we secure our future with a plan that will deliver the economic growth we need to pay for the education that we've been talking about tonight, for the great healthcare services, for all of the services of government, the environmental services. Everything we need to deliver for Australians requires a strong economy. And we have set out a series of measures right across the board, from innovation, through investing in defence and advanced industries, to ensuring that business tax cuts are effective. Mr Shorten has said that he doesn't want the banks to get a tax cut. Well, over the next 3 years, the only businesses that will get a tax cut are those with turnovers of less than $100 million, and that doesn't include any banks, and he's against that as well. He's against every business except the very smallest getting any benefit. So the stuff about banks and big companies is just a smokescreen. He has no plan for economic growth. Every element we have in our policy supports stronger economic growth. We are lowering taxes on investment so we get more investment. Labor is increasing taxes on investment and will get less investment. The opportunities for every single Australian depend on a strong economy. Otherwise, where is the future for our young people? Where is the future for older Australians who want to change jobs, who get sick of working for someone else and want to start a business? Every opportunity depends on strong economic growth, and we have set out a plan that delivers that. What about the big trade export deals? What about the China-Australia Free Trade Agreement, driving growth across the country, especially in regional Australia? Labor opposed that too. The unions led a campaign about that. What about people who work for themselves in the trucking industry? Bill Shorten had a plan which he put into operation, which put 50,000 owner-drivers out of business until we were able to abolish that tribunal just a few weeks ago. See, the reality is Labor has a plan for spending, it has a plan for higher taxes, it does not have anything to say about growth. It has nothing to say that will deliver stronger growth. Every element of our plan does that, and that secures the opportunities for every Australian. It secures our future. It enables us to remain a high-wage, first-world economy with a generous social welfare safety net. Without that strong economy, we can't pay for any of the promises that are being debated in this election. The foundation, the fundamental basis of everything we are considering tonight and over the next 5 weeks must be strong economic growth. We have a plan and our opponents do not.
Mr Shorten.
I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for his comments tonight, and I'd like to thank people for listening to this debate. Labor believes this election is all about choices. We believe that the way that you have a strong economy and you have economic growth is through delivering a fairer society as well. Labor has positive plans on healthcare, on education, on renewable energy and climate change, on making sure that first home buyers have a fair crack at being able to live the Australian dream, and a fair taxation system. Labor has plans to make sure that women get treated equally in our society, and we make sure that we have nation-building infrastructure which ensures Aussie jobs, Aussie manufacturing, local content and apprentices. Our plan for growth with fairness includes properly funding our schools so that kids are able to compete for the jobs of the future, Our plan for economic growth ensures a healthy workforce for properly defending Medicare against privatisation and making sure we still keep bulk billing and the price of medicines down. Our plan for Australia's economic growth is to ensure that we have that nation-building infrastructure, public transport in our great cities, an NBN which is on time and not running over cost. Our plan for Australia involves helping small business be able to help fulfil their opportunities through our measures to help them. Our plan for Australian economic growth involves putting science at the centre of all of our decisions. Our plan for economic growth makes sure that we act upon climate change. See, the Labor view is that you can't separate economic growth into one column and fairness in the other. To have sustainable growth, you need to have fairness. By contrast, Mr Turnbull's only plan is a great big spending giveaway of $50 billion to corporations. It's not right for Mr Turnbull to say that he's not proposing under his plans to give $7.5 billion to big banks. He wants to give them a tax cut. I want to give them a royal commission. The truth of the matter is that the way that this society works best is when middle class and working class families have a fair share of the opportunities of Australia. I believe in a fair go for all. I believe in the aspiration for kids to find a job, for parents to be able to raise their kids knowing that they'll get proper health care, for Australians to grow old and invest in superannuation without the threat of retrospective changes to superannuation laws. I believe this country has a great future, but so long as every Australian is included in that future, not just the lucky few at the top end.
Well, there you have it. I hope that that has shed some light on your decision come July the 2nd. Happily, there are lots more things to talk about, but we have 5 more weeks to talk about them, and I'm sure that we'll be hearing a lot more from both these leaders on every topic that you could possibly imagine between now and the end of this quite long election campaign. Can I thank my fellow panellists for coming on tonight, and can I say again, thank you to both gentlemen for being here, and that's it from here for now for this Leaders' Debate from the National Press Club. Thank you.